LABB Lab. My name is Tony Jetton with Bird Barrier, and this is Foster with Pest Posse.
That's right. How you doing, Tony?
Doing well. Thank you, thank you, Foster.
Yeah, I'm just taking over the interview, aren't I?
You are.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, please do. What are we talking about today?
Well, I think we're going to talk a little bit about, doing bird control, really what really the pest control business owner should know about getting into bird control. There's a lot of facets with bird control and a lot of things you need to learn about, and you can't just, as a business owner, you just can't jump into it. There's a lot of things you got to know about it. And I think maybe that's what we want to briefly kind of talk about today as far as that subject. Really, what do business owners need to know before jumping into bird control, Tony?
Yeah, I think right in the beginning, in the very early stages, you have pest control companies have all of their route, let's say, right? All of their customers.
Yeah.
And you guys are trained to look down. You're trained to look down. What are you looking for when you look down? Oh,
well, you're looking for pests and everything, but you are trained to look down, but you also should be looking three-dimensional. And I think that's just what you were going to mention, but
right,
yeah.
Right, well, we want to train you to look up, right?
Yep.
And we want you to look for the indicators for birds are going to be bird droppings. You're going to find those on the outside of a structure, and you're going to find those on the inside of the structure. So in the early days, in the very beginning, we're going to train you to look for bird droppings, and then maybe take a camera with you, take some photos, probably very similar to what you do with pest control, and make notes, what side of the building it's on. Try to get a count of how many birds that might be there. Ask questions. Asking questions to employees is very important. Things like, hey, how long have you noticed the birds have been here for? They're going to tell you exactly where the birds are hanging out. Oh, they're always over here, and yeah, they're lined up over here in the morning. All that information is very key. You make notes of all this, and then if you talk to your customer and they say, hey, and you let your customer know, hey, we can fix this bird issue here. Do you want us to pursue this? If they say yes, you take that information, you give us a call, and we know exactly what to do with it from there.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And that's important that you really, when you're first getting into this, I think as business owners need to realize is, yeah, bird control can be a good revenue source, but there's a lot of little nuances with it you need to know about and you need to understand. And I think taking pictures, I think that's critical, and definitely contacting Bird Barrier, yeah, because you guys can definitely virtually help out if you've got enough pictures to be looking at that. I think as being with a business owner, yeah, I think they should be looking at bird control because it is a good revenue source for them.
Oh yeah, it's a good way for you to enhance your customer's service, right? To bring in new revenue. Also, keep the door closed for any competition.
Oh yeah.
Because if your customer has to hire somebody else that comes in to do birds, there's a good chance that guy not only does birds but does pest control.
Oh, exactly. Totally true.
You know what I mean?
That's what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's totally what's going to happen. Yeah, because you definitely don't want to leave that, just even that little bit of that door open for another company to come in and to take over your general pest services. You try to be as much as encompassing as you can. And yeah, bird control is a good way to do that, to get that extra value for the customers and everything. So what's really, when you're really thinking about it for that owner, when he's looking at bird control, I mean, definitely should go through, get some training from Bird Barrier, definitely since you guys have got pro labs now, but really, other than really the training, I mean, what's one thing you can think that really stands out the business owners really should know about when you're looking at bird control? Yeah, that they should keep in mind.
I think it would be the sales aspect. It would be the verbiage involved. It would be, and we would break that down for you. We would break that down and to simplify things because it's such a niche industry. Pest control's, to a guy that doesn't know pest control, me, pest control is a niche industry to me. So I know what it's like to be on the other side of the fence, but bird control is very niche. And if you can simplify this to your end user, to your customer that you already have a relationship with, I find that that's key in getting them to sign off on doing this project. And so what I would say, what's really important to the first timer is learn how to do a proper evaluation. And we'll give you that list. That's going to be looking for indicators, right? You're looking for bird droppings. In a commercial setting, when you have birds on the outside of the building, do you have birds on the inside of the building? Let's find out how they're getting in and out.
Yeah.
Let's make notes on what side of the building that they're using. Let's get a count of how many birds we're dealing with. And let's find out how many years or how long these birds have been here.
Yep.
All that information is key when we're putting together a strategy on product selection and installation strategies. Sales strategies will follow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I know you've had a lot of people asking about the sales aspect of it, and that I think will come pretty naturally to owners. You know, if you're used to selling pest control, I don't think bird control would be too much more difficult to sell. I think a lot of it is believing in the process that the product you're going to choose is going to work to deter those birds, to keep them out of that area. And I think that's a big thing with them.
Right.
I would think that another thing really that the business owners really need to look at when they're looking at this bird control is making sure that they've got enough staff to do this installation, and that they feel comfortable with doing the installation, working on a ladder, making sure that they have the proper procedures in place as far as ladder safety. I think that's important to be looking at and shouldn't be overlooked, because you are going to be on a higher level when you're doing this. And if you're going to be doing anything on a lift, you need to make sure you're getting some sort of training on that lift before you use it. So I think those are all things that owners need to look at too when they're looking at this bird control, getting into this, because again, if you don't have enough staff, you don't have all these things in place, it could just be a big mess for you, and you could be in a world of trouble.
Absolutely correct. All of those certificates that you need for safety on different types of lifts, articulated booms, and that sort of thing. If you're a pest control company and you're looking to expand into bird control, I would highly recommend, if you're going to do some hiring for that, get a guy that has construction background. That guy that can think outside the box, knows his way around tools, and be a fixer, because not every one of our products is designed for every situation you're going to come across.
Yeah.
You have to know your way around tools and be able to go down to a Home Depot and go, this is what I need for this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, and I think that is a smart thing. Somebody that's got some construction background, because they are going to know their way around those tools and know that stuff. And I think that's important if you're looking at that. And knowing that it's too, as that owner, that it's going to cost some money to bring somebody on.
Oh, so. Yeah, and in the larger jobs too, the larger projects, the larger commercial structures that you might come across are going to take 2-3 guys, sometimes 4 guys, and these jobs could last 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So do you have that staff on hand?
Yeah, that's the big thing, because if you don't, if it's just you doing it, and depending on how busy you are, that might not be a good thing. Because really, when you look at it, anytime you're up on an extension ladder, you really should be having 2 people there on that job at all times.
That's right.
You definitely should be. So yeah. Oh man. So is there anything else we think that we should discuss here for doing bird control that business owners should really know about?
Well, I'll tell you. We do residential. We have a residential side, and we also have a commercial side. I do mainly commercial sides of things. I'd say to anybody that's thinking about it, really, really think hard. There is so much opportunity out there.
Oh, yes.
If you're a net installer, or you know how to look at a structure and evaluate correctly and go up and know what's needed, that you're highly needed in this industry.
Oh, yeah.
There is more work out there than we have installers. So I would encourage, if people are thinking about it, but they're not quite sure, well, is the business there? Well, yeah, the business is there.
Yeah.
And with our help, we can help you. Like I help guys every day with their evaluations. I say, this is what you want to look for. Be sure to talk to these people. They go out there and do that. They come back to me with this information, with photos and measurements, and I'll put together their product list for them.
Yeah.
And usually get it back to them the same day. So now they have pricing. They're also going to have all the warranty and spec information that's needed when they're doing their proposal, and then they can submit this. Like, for example, a lot of times on really large projects, we're going to say, if there's multiple buildings on this, let's not scare away that customer with a huge bottom line.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's simplify and break this down into phase 1, building A.
Yep.
Let's do building A. That way, that customer can see his money working, can see the success, and says, let's go to building 2.
Exactly.
Right away.
Yep, exactly.
So there we go.
No, I think that's a good point. Yeah, this has all been good stuff. Yeah, and I don't think that I have anything else that we need to add to this. Hopefully this brought some benefit to anybody that's listening to this. I think this has been some great information.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Foster.
Yeah, well, this has been good. So that's right. Okay, we're done.
Pest Posse.